Thought about this for a long time. 2 minutes? What happened? Whatever. You know, I grew up fat. Still, as you can tell, it's my boobs. Okay? My arms. And what I want for you young ones to remember is, and this is probably the only time, okay, this might be the only time that I will probably go against what a lot of parents say, because a lot of children I come across through this media or Facebook or any other social media come from parents that don't exactly encourage them to do well. I'll put it that way. So I am here to say, if you don't get the encouragement you need from your parents and people around you, that's my job. That's my purpose for being young, older, whatever. But I predominantly get children under the age of 18 that write to me. And then I get men around 35 and women, believe it or not, around 48. And it's all good, you know. I have the ability to just listen and not always give input, because that's not always needed. You know, most of us just need someone to listen. And I'm here to say that if you are fat and you have stretch marks and you have this and you have that, and because I was never small. I was always bigger than all my teachers, not taller, but bigger. So it doesn't bother me to be called fat. It doesn't bother me to be called other names that people that are not my size call me. You know why? Because of a little thing called self-confidence. And if no one, it's not something anyone can give to you. It's not an outside gift. It's an inside gift. And even if you're skinny, trying to gain weight, if you're this, if you're tall and you get picked on, you're short, you get picked on. You know, we come out the womb knowing the world is fucked up. That's a given, right? So the only thing we can do, the only thing we might choose to do is to just simply love ourselves how we are. Yeah, I got picked on a lot, and I got called a lot of stupid names. And you know what? Eventually, because I'm the baby of 9, and I was very spoiled, eventually I had to learn how to fight by myself, with myself only. No sisters, no brothers, no one to run to at 23 when I moved from home to San Jose, California. So I had to learn to fight for myself. And in the process of fighting for myself, that gives you really good self-esteem. So just go ahead and get it over with. Just get that one first fight over with. Nobody ever wanted to fight me because I was always the biggest one in the classroom. So, but I would still go home and tell my sister, and my sister would go back to school and kick the ass. I look at it this way. This is your first lesson in learning how to be strong. Because it doesn't matter if you're fat, if you got polka dots, if you have hair, no hair, you know, a wide nose, a little nose. It doesn't matter. If you don't love yourself, no one else will. And then they'll start picking on you for that. They'll find something. You're holding your head down in school. Why are you holding your head down? You stupid, you this. And yet when you hold your head up and stand your ground, that is the beginning of respect, self-respect. And then we teach others how to treat us. We teach others how to treat us. So by holding your head up, standing your 265-pound self with your back straight, your boobs out, butt out, stomach out, everything out, you know, and then people look at you and, oh, I didn't realize he was so tall. Oh, I didn't realize she was, oh, wow, look at her eyes. She's got really beautiful eyes. And then they, of course, they always have to put for a big person, for a fat girl. And I got to tell you, if you have a problem with the word, you may as well get over it now, because the world is going to call you so many things that are worse than that. So the sooner you stand up for yourself, with yourself, and have self-respect, the sooner things won't bother you at all. Not at all. It's going to be water on a duck's back. This, boys and girls, will set you up for nothing but success throughout the rest of your life. Because even if I had one kid, and I'm just listening to him vent his day and and we're having a nice conversation, and next thing you hear, bam, 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 you scrying little fucking bastard, and I'm like, what? Now you know how it is when somebody tells you something, but when you hear it for yourself, you're like, dare you talk to this child of God like that? And he came from your womb. Oh my God. And my first thing is, God, how come she got to have a baby and I didn't? Because she's treating hers like shit, So anyway, that's none of my business. If the sooner you stand up with yourself and say, I love me anyway. I love me because I have these hips, and because I have these lips, and because I have this hair, or because I have a bald head, other people want to look like me. Right? None of us. Okay, I'm happy with myself. But the average person is just not happy with their self. They want to change this. Okay, if I had a little bit less stomach, but I'm working on that. Okay, it's gone down an inch. So I'm happy for that. And I'm not out to be Barbie, okay, by any stretch of the imagination. Because, honey, I love my booty, my titties, and my big old thighs, okay? And the sooner we learn to stand up and say, can't change it, may as well accept it. Let's go. Stand up a little straighter with your head held high. And people are like, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with him? Why are he acting like a snob? He's not acting like a snob. He's acting like he has self-respect. That's the name of the game. One of her clients isn't treating her well. And of course, me, I immediately told her, you need to just check that before it gets worse. Because you accepting being called fat and shrugging your head and running off to the bathroom to hide will only give them more room to do it more and more. Oh, you're fat, skinny, short, tall, whatever. Freckles, no freckles, spots, polka dots. And so later that day, he called back. Did I say she? He called back and said, guess what happened? And I said, what happened? I told the person over this person that this person doesn't have the best attitude, basically. And, he's always getting on. And the boss agreed with him and said, yes, you're right. It's da-da-da-da. And he felt so good. And I said, see, feel like that all the time. I'm not saying, be mean to people and say, look what he did. No. But when it affects your job, when it affects your money, your livelihood, no, you need to check that from the beginning, the first time. Excuse me, just like boyfriend, girlfriend. The first time you don't like something, say something then. Women, shut up and suck it up. Men, talk about it. And men, when she tells you to, just suck it up and work with what you got, So it doesn't matter what fault you find in yourself. The more you think it's bad, the more it will be bad. Where the mind goes, the behind follows. And I got a big ass. Okay? So let's remember that the sooner you love yourself for who and everything you are and want to be, the sooner others will accept that too. I'm serious. I still remember the first time, somebody called me a nigger. And the first time somebody called me a fat pig and, this and that. And I thank God I had the sisters and brothers that would go kick their ass and then tell me, afterward, you're really not that, right? You're just beautiful and they can't stand you being beautiful. So I was really, really blessed that I chose beautiful brothers and sisters to come from the same womb that I did. So I really want you to know, the sooner you have confidence in yourself, the sooner a lot of life's problems will disappear. A lot of them. The sooner we tell someone the first time, um, you know, I, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Yesterday you said XYZ. That was a joke, right? And then, yeah. Mm-hmm. But now they know you're going to check them on every. There's my son. You're going to check them on everything they do, and that's how a good life could start out. Okay, so even if I say something offensive to you, you can pull my coat straight. Hey Tosh, in that video you said da da da, but then in another video you said da da da. What did you mean by that? Because it seems kind of different, And then let me go watch the videos again. Oh, because see, what happened that day was da 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 da. And then what happened this day was da da da. But the situations were kind of sort of similar. You see what I mean? But it was really two different situations. So with that person, I knew they meant well and they were just joking. And this person was just being a bigot and, hater of whatever the situation was. And I know that I'm big and I have a big mouth and I'm very mouthy. And for me, it was easier being that way. Once I stopped being shy around 24, it took a while. And then I was really overbearing and aggressive. Yet it taught people how to treat me. You can't just, excuse me, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Nothing? Yeah, that's what I thought. And what'd you do it for? Did you think I was somebody else? That's it, right? You thought I was Shaquandra, right? Okay. No, you thought I was Tazamisha. Yeah. The sooner you put people in their place, the sooner they're going to treat you how you want to be treated. And you know what? It's sad to say, but that even goes for your parents. I mean, given you're a responsible age, you're 18 and up, because 18 and not up is the result of immaturity, some would say, because we assume that youngsters are not intelligent enough to know exactly what they want and how they feel, because you can't think fast enough, maybe, of the appropriate word or phrase to use to get your exact point across. Okay? So let's all work on teaching others how to treat us. And I'm not saying disrespectful. I'm not saying to be disrespectful. I'm saying to be polite and courteous, and yet still, I was wondering the other day when you said I was fat, you meant PHAT, right? Pretty hot and tempting. That's what you meant, right? Right? You see, and once you laugh, smile at something, then people just roll with it. But in the back of their mind, they're thinking, maybe I shouldn't have said that. That really hurt her feelings. Or what kind of person am I that I call somebody else fat and I weigh 90 pounds? I'm trying to gain weight. I'm trying to get rid of my freckles. I have to buy a ton of makeup to cover up my freckles. Why are you covering up who you are? And another thing, big boys and girls, stop wearing them belly out cupcake, top cake. What is it called when your stomach is showing? Muffin top, whatever. Yeah, that's not cute. That is not cute. That makes you look like a slut, men and women. It does. And I'm not saying that to be offensive. I'm saying it because if you wore, okay, now I'm a size 2. I knew that this dress was purposely a size 4. I bought it specifically to wear around the house, go into the trash, blah, blah, blah. Yesterday I was tired, so I wore it to Walmart. I was appropriate. I put on a bra and panties and some, nice sandals, so I didn't go looking like a ragamuffin, as Mama would say. And to see so many boys and girls with their belly out just looks so self-disrespectful. Boys, don't get me wrong, after a while, boys grow to be older boys to men eventually. And they might like that because they like big girls or because girls like big boys. Okay. So I'm not saying it's always inappropriate, yet I am saying look at your appearance yourself. That helps teach people how to treat you. So, you're in Walmart or J.C. Penney's or whatever, and you see a large person with a tight shirt and you can see every single lump. And most people instantly go, oh, you know. And I'm not saying change your whole way of being and thinking. I am saying that some people, a boss person, if they're going to be receptionists, coming to work looking like that. Now, granted, that's an assumption because they haven't even interviewed you yet. So I'm saying, how do you really see yourself? Does that really look cute to you? If so, yeah, you go ahead, have at it. And by another token, when people see that, and again, I'm not saying change your whole life, change your whole way of being. I'm just saying, couldn't you buy a shirt one size larger so it just hangs, and we don't see all your veins, stretch marks, okay? And because we teach others how to treat us, we have to know how to treat ourselves. I'm not saying go out and buy a size 4 to where it's this baggy, okay? I am saying you could give thought to appropriate dressing. Why do you wear your pants below your stomach like a man? And I think only men do that because they say it hurts their stomach. It wouldn't hurt your stomach, men, if you bought a size larger and wore an appropriate belt. They make belts for big people nowadays, okay? So even me, I don't know what looks good on me. So I wear what my mother always wore, white. I always grew up wearing beige because I was just addicted to beige. So I always wore, beige clothes, a size larger so it just hangs nicely. It wasn't, baggy like this. If my butt fit in I've always been a big girl, so 16, 18, then that's what I bought, a 16, 18. I didn't buy a 15 and try and shove my ass in it. So then, I can remember in the late 70s, early 80s, the polyester pants were in thing for big women because we liked that huggy, on our body and on our crotch, on our booty. And yet most men will tell you that was not the most appealing thing to wear. And I'm glad at the time I had a boyfriend who told me that really doesn't look good on you. Even though it felt good because it was nice and snuggy, that doesn't look good on you. Next, just, how about if you just stick to those pants, the cotton polyester pants and not the stretchy polyester. And not to mention it shows your everything, your camel toe, and that's not good for Susie, boys and girls, because boys do that too, buy them pencil pants or whatever. And I miss the good old days where you could see men's outline on their leg and whatnot. I miss those days. Yet I know that's not always good for things. Need to breathe down there. Everything needs to breathe down there. And if you're suffocating him or her, they can't breathe. That causes a lot of other things that I don't need to talk about in this video. So it's just food for thought. It's just food for thought. I'm not getting on you and say you look like an ugly fat pig. I'm just saying you might consider looking better towards somebody that might bless your future. Boyfriend, girlfriend, a job, friend with connections. We never cut off our nose to spite our face. So I'm just really blessed that I've had people in my life to tell me, no, with the buttons and it's pulling, Tosh, no buttons. Get a size larger if you're going to buy something with buttons. And I did. And it hangs nice and loose, not like I'm trying to give you a half a peekaboo show, So it's just food for thought. I'm not here to bash anyone. And yet, okay, here's your homework. Look at look at those Walmart videos that are all over YouTube. Excuse me, people wearing crazy things. Yeah, look at the big people that wear that tight, wife beater or tight shirt, and their belly button and their belly's this big, and then you can see their round belly button hanging out over their pants, and especially girls with your booty crack showing. That's not sexy. Or your thong still showing. That's only sexy if you got to have sex with your man. It's not sexy for every man to see. Every man don't need to see everything unless you're one of those kind of girls. As Mama would say, unless you're one of them fast girls. Anyway, give thought. It's just food for thought. It's just food for thought, okay? I'm not telling you to change. I'm asking you to give thought to your appearance. And that might help how you feel about yourself. It did for me. I love you. Go have an awesome day. And don't forget, we teach others how to treat us. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.